Hey yo, I'm back for another leg day. My strongest body part, the easiest body part for me to get a pump in, and the least amount of volume per week I need for this body part, specifically quads. I mean the whole leg, quads, calves, hamstrings, everything. It just grows. I connect well with it, and I don't have to overthink it too much. Compared to yesterday, Sunday, that I posted on my Instagram. If you're interested in that, go check it out. And if you compare how I train my arms and how I train my legs, it's much different. I do more volume uh, for my arms compared to my legs because that's my weaker body part and that needs to grow. I do less volume for my legs because they're already ahead, and I just connect well with them and I can get more out of less. But yeah, when it comes to the main point, the main thing I wanted to point out uh, in the differences between how I train my arms and legs is the tempo. For arms, I really need to be slow and controlled, really feel the muscle squeeze, contract, hold it there for like half a second, slowly go down into the negative. And throughout the whole movement, I need to be thinking about how am I squeezing, how am I contracting. I need to feel the muscle working. But for legs, I don't have to think about it at all. I can go 10 times faster pace. All that I feel is what I'm working, let's say, for quads, or a pendulum squat that I will do today. I can go as fast as I can, man. I already I already feel it. I don't need to think about it too much. But for arms, much different type of approach I need to take. For stronger body parts, most of the time you get a nasty pump and you have a better mind muscle connection to them, and you don't need to overthink it. You can just go through the reps and boom, that it grows. But for the weaker body parts, like I already said, for me arms, I really need to pay close attention to every single detail, and I can already feel the soreness in my arms, biceps especially. Biceps, it's harder to connect than triceps for me, but today I'm really feeling soreness. Of course, in my triceps, I always feel it, but especially in my biceps, I feel like I can't remember the last time I had a soreness after arm training like this in my biceps. So I'm pretty happy with it. I will stick to the movements that I did yesterday. Let's talk legs. Every day, every leg day, I start off with calves and hamstrings. Calves because my ankle mobility is not the best, and when I train my calves before my quads and my hamstrings, I mean specifically quads, it helps me with ankle mobility. I go through that range of motion. It helps me with ankle mobility, and then I can go deeper if I need to in my squat, and I don't have any problems keeping my heel glued to the platform that I'm pushing through. And that's number one mistake guys do when they train legs. If your heel comes off the pad, either you're doing too much range of motion, you're going too heavy, or you have bad ankle mobility and you need to improve it, work something out. But I can honestly say the moment I lose my heel, from the platform, I feel that tension goes away from my quads and specifically my outer head, vastus lateralis, something like that it's called. I don't know, but the quad sweep. I don't feel my quad sweep as much when I lose my heel, and that's like the most important part of the quadriceps if you want to look good, look impressive on stage, on the beach, whatever your goal is. I don't judge. But yeah, so do a little bit of hamstrings at the start, do a little bit of calves, and then get into my pendulum squats. And one more tip I want to give you is when my legs exploded the most and when I got the most growth out of my quads is when I stopped doing leg extensions first. And I've been thinking about it. I've been doing it after competition as my first movement to just until my body is fully recovered and everything. And now I think is the time to switch that out, throw leg extensions at the end like I did throughout the whole off season, and that just works better for me. I don't lose when I do leg extensions first. I lose a ton of strength on my heavy compound lifts, and I don't want to do that. So That's one of the reasons, and the other reason is sometimes I can feel my knees for some reason. I never have like knee problems, but if I do leg extensions as my first exercise, I need to go super heavy on it, and that's when I feel it. But if I do pendulum squats or hex squats or Smith squats as my first exercise, never ever do I get knee problems. I don't know what it is about the leg extension for me, but I need to put it at the end, and from now on, I'm start doing that again, not just for the knee pain, but also for the quad growth. Since I'm doing like 6 working sets for quads, I need to be as strong as possible to for them to still improve. Less volume, less 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 room for error with such a small amount of working sets per week. So yeah, I need to be dialed in. Okay, let's go. Let's train. See you at the gym. Exercise number 1 will be some type of a hamstring curl. Yeah, we will see what's free. Let's go. Okay, first one, hammies, like I said. And why do I like to do hammies first? It's a nice warm-up before your heavy pressing movements for the quads. When you do hamstrings before your quads, just one exercise. I mean, you can do the whole hamstring workout before your quads. For me personally, it doesn't impact me. But if your quads are lacking, then I would say just do one hamstring movement before your quads, just to get everything warmed up, get some blood through the knees, and get your knee through that range of motion. I do that, then I do calves, and then boom, straight into my quads. Sometimes I might do whole hamstring workout because quads are my strongest body part. It doesn't impact me if I do a whole hamstring workout, before my quads. So yeah, but our hamstring workouts right now currently are very, very short. Same as with the quads. Today I have 6 exercises, 3 for hammies, 3 for quads, and everything is 2 sets. Everything is the same, 6 to 10, like more like 8 to 10 on the first set, and then second set, drop off some weight and go for like 10 to 15 reps on each set. So every exercise you see today, 2 sets, same rep ranges, 8 to 10, 10 to 12 on the second, and that's it. Calves I do, I don't know what I feel like doing. Sometimes I might do heavier, 8 to 10, 8 to 12. Sometimes I might go all the way up to like 20, 25 reps. I don't I don't think about calves training too much, calf training, because they're just really strong. They grow whatever I do. So yeah, I don't overthink that. Let's go. Let's do the first movement of the day. Boom. 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 Hey. Okay. Nice. Okay, 5 sets of 5 working sets of calves done. And here on the pendulum, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 warm-up sets. Yeah, maybe even 5. Same thing as I said in the last video, when I'm doing a heavy compound lift as my first exercise for a muscle group, whether it be chest, like I did a couple of days ago, incline barbell, or whether it be pendulum squats now for quads, I like to do a lot of warm-up sets. And also, I'm decreasing the number of reps as I'm getting heavier and heavier into my warm-ups. I start off with like 15, 20 reps, maybe with an empty bar, throw on 1 plate or 2, do like, I don't know, 10, and then 6, 4, and then I'm ready for my first working set. So a lot of warm-up sets. It doesn't take away from my strength. That's what I realized. And it only helps me with my strength. When I'm really warmed up, my body gets used to the movement. All the neurons in the brain are firing like they're supposed to. Then everything is much, much better. Just don't overdo your warm-up sets. Like, let's say you're doing 3 plates on something and you put 2 plates on and you do 15 reps. I mean, don't do that if you're gonna get like 3 plates only for like 8 reps. Lower the number of reps that you're doing as you're getting heavier. That's what I'm trying to say. If you do it that way, then it only helps my strength on my top set, on my first working set. If I do it the other way around, where I keep doing 10-15 reps each set on my warm-ups, I notice it impacts my strength and I'm not as strong on my first heavy top set. Okay, let's go. Nice. Thought I had that last one. But it's okay. Okay. Second heavy compound lift for the quads. I call this a hex squat, even though it's a horizontal leg press. But for me, this is a hex squat after these leg extensions, and that's it for quads. Now I'm thinking about that last set and that last rep on that pendulum. I could have gotten one more rep if I rested just a tiny bit more, like 1 second only more at the top. But hey, it's all good, man. It's all freaking good. Next week I will get that one. Don't stress about little things like that. I'm thinking now about it, but I need to switch my mindset. I need to think how I can do more now on this horizontal, on this hex squat. And then next week, when it's time to do pendulum squat again, then I will get my revenge. Whew. But look, the most important thing that you can do is go to failure, and that's what I did. I went to failure. So if that box is checked, then everything else, in my eyes, after that is not a big deal. Okay, let's go. Whew. Nice. Okay, let's finish this leg workout. 2 sets of leg extensions, and I'm done. I mean, done with the quads, hamstrings. So for hamstrings, seated leg curl and then hyperextension, and that will be it. Okay, let's go. Okay, done. After these 6 sets of quads, I feel completely exhausted, like I did a couple of years ago when I did like 20 sets of quads for legs. Same feeling. Maybe today with those 6 it's even worse. But hey, that's why I always say high volume is key to growth for beginners. But that will be a topic for another video. Thank you all for watching. I'm out. See you in the next one. Peace out.